Bitcoin is on the move, but we need to hold this line. As we were closing today's Coffee and Crypto Live, the Bitcoin chart began to move as we surpassed $40,000. We actually have gotten as high as $40,800. Now, we're going to see what happens the rest of this afternoon. By all I know, this video even is already outdated, but I want to show you how we actually know what's going to be happening in Bitcoin, what you need to be looking for to see, is this actually a bull rally, or are we going to reverse and go back down below 40,000? So the first thing that we talked about on Coffee and Crypto this morning was the significance of this line right around $40,000. Specifically, it's around $40,086. This line is really significant because it is the line that shows us on the 4-hourly chart where we could outdo bearish RSI divergence. What I'm talking about is the peak we had back here on the 19th of February, where we set a very low high on the RSI. Now, since then, the price moved downwards, but the RSI moved up. Now that we have a candle above this line, we could potentially cancel out the bearish RSI divergence that was calling for us to potentially head back down to 35,000. However, I want to show you a couple things that are potentially alarming. I don't know necessarily that Bitcoin's going to definitely drop back down, but there are a couple things that you need to be aware of before you say it's time to go ahead and enter a long, or this is the best time to buy Bitcoin. Now, not only is this level right here, right at 40,000, extremely important, so is this descending level of resistance that we drew earlier this morning. Why is this so important? Because this line, if it doesn't hold, or sorry, if it does hold, is going to probably show us coming all the way back down and hitting lower than 35,000. Breaking through it, however, could begin an uptrend. Right now, while the number is 40,000, we want to hold this and move closer to 42,000 within the next couple of days. Otherwise, we're probably setting ourselves up for another move to the downside and another crushing hope for all the Bitcoin bulls. A couple of reasons why I'm a little cautious at this point and why I would not enter a long or necessarily invest at this moment is starting out on the daily chart. On the daily chart, if I were to get my Bollinger Bands, I'm going to find that we are sitting right at the 20 daily SMA. Why is this significant? Because just a couple of days ago, we bounced off the bottom, and a lot of times with the Bollinger Bands, that 20 daily SMA ends up getting used as a reversal zone. It's a little higher than the reversal zone, the flat level of 40,000. However, what happens quite frequently is the price rallies up to that level and then drops back below. Again, the significance is we don't just need to touch these prices, we need to close above 40,000. And that's something that at the moment is not necessarily a sure thing. We got a lot of time left on the 4-hourly chart. We got a lot of time left on the daily chart. We got to watch this as the day progresses. Again, this video might even be a little outdated because at the time of shooting, it's only 11 o'clock right now, and you're probably watching this a little closer to 3. Let's see what has happened, and if we can close above on the 4-hourly chart, we actually have a case for the bulls to take some momentum. If we drop back down below, we might be in trouble. Another thing going down to the 4-hourly chart, if I want to look at the Bollinger Bands, we are massively overextended. Again, now this is an increase in volatility, which is sometimes a trader's best dream. But unfortunately, when you're on the upside, when you're on the top of this Bollinger Bands, it usually means there's a correction coming to the downside. Now, we could stay up there for a couple of candles and that would be good, but be prepared, a correction will come. The question is when. If we can hold off for a couple of hours staying above that 40,000, I believe we could have a very minor correction. If we end up dropping back down, if the bears begin to sell and we drop back below this 40,000, watch us potentially open up these Bollinger Bands with volatility and actually have a massive downswing to the downside. Looking at the RSI, we also have something that we want to keep an eye on, and that is, are we going to close above this, like I said, and cancel out our bearish RSI divergence? There's a trend line right here, and unfortunately that trend line has a lot of room on it. We haven't beaten out. Can we close above this level right here? Can we close, above this 40,000, and in that way, we have an uptick in price action and an uptick in RSI. That would also be a bullish move, but again, we got to wait for these candle bodies to close before we can make that prediction. The last thing I want to look at and let you guys know, because we weren't able to see that much of it today on the show, is our Lux Algo. Now, Lux Algo has been in a buy on the 4-hourly chart ever since the 24th of February. This is actually really good. If you look at this green candle, you're going to see a couple things. It actually kind of disappears. Not only do we have a massive green candle, the trend catcher is beginning to move to the upside. Can this continue? On the daily chart, we have our purple candles, and that's a sign of indecision. Will this purple candle not only turn green, will the trend catcher turn green, and will we see a rally happen on the daily chart? At this moment, that has not happened. And I know a lot of people want to know, Tim, is it going to turn bullish? Are we going to be green? Are we going to see an uptick in price? We don't know, but this afternoon is going to tell us a lot. Again, I've said a lot in this video, but I want to sum it up for you. The key level is 40,000. Can we close candles above it? Can we close this 4-hourly chart here and a little bit above? And can we close the daily chart above? If the answer to that question is yes, look out. We might have some bullish days coming on Bitcoin. Unfortunately, there's a couple of signs saying we might be overbought at the moment and we could be coming down. So make sure, watch your chart, check back in tomorrow, and we'll discuss what this latest move on Bitcoin price means for the rest of March. That's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully this was a very helpful video, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, you should definitely consider subscribing because we're trying to help you become financially free in these cryptocurrency markets. And also, consider following us on Twitter @CryptoJebb for more updates on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Peace.